Hello, welcome back to the Riverside Brookfield Educational Foundation Spotlight on our grant recipients. Devon Encher is here with me today, and we are going to talk about her amazing experience in France.
Yes.
So if you can think of 3 things to take away from the trip, what 3 things would you say that you were most grateful for?
First of all, I was most grateful for the language learning opportunities. I've been taking French here at RB for 3 years. I haven't taken it this year just so I can focus on college applications and what have you, but it is really honestly kind of crazy how much you learn when you're immersed in a culture and how much you pick up on a language when the people around you are speaking it fluently.
And how long were you there?
We were there for, I think it was 11 days.
And in those 11 days, that's a giant impact in 11 days.
Yeah, I think it was obviously it's wonderful. Madame Forberg, who teaches French here, she's an immigrant from France. She's native, but to be surrounded by native French speakers, you pick up on so much slang, and you learn so much because they talk so fast.
And what about types of sightseeings that you might have done, or museums or arts?
Yeah, it was honestly incredible. I mean, we didn't get like the full experience. I mean, we didn't see Notre Dame because it's still shut down after the fire, unfortunately. But everything we saw was honestly incredible. We went to Musée d'Orsay in Paris, which is an art museum, and it's a lot smaller than the Louvre, so it was a lot easier to kind of explore, and it was such an amazing experience because you're seeing all this art. Obviously, we have such amazing art here in Chicago at the Art Institute, what have you, but to see all these famous paintings that have been an ocean away, it's really amazing.
That is, and looking through them in books or online, and you're actually seeing it in person.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
All right, let's talk a little bit about the food.
The food, it was honestly really interesting. We started in Paris, went to Normandy, back to Paris, and then to Nice. We experienced so much regional food. France, it's about the size of Texas. And you think there's so much kind of diversity in food in the United States, and it's huge, but you have the same amount of diversity in food in France, and it's so much smaller. But yeah, in Paris, there was much more, you could get a lot more street food, what have you. But in Normandy, it was a little heartier. We had a few variations on a beef stew, both in Normandy and in Nice, but they were different because they're regional. It was the same dish, just regional, which was super cool.
And what about any recreation?
Recreation. We had a few different, fun activities. We were given a few opportunities for free time where we were just able to explore the area by ourselves. When we were up on Montmartre in Paris, it's a mountain in, I think, the 18th arrondissement of Paris, we just had time to explore, and it was so much fun. Obviously, Madame told us, watch out for pickpocketers, but just to be able to explore the tiny, narrow streets that have been there for hundreds of years. Parisians, they walk through those streets every day. They don't think anything of it, but for us, it was honestly crazy. So we had lots of free time just to kind of wander around, explore, shop, and there was an activity that our tour guide Lucy put together when we were in Paris. It was a bit of a scavenger hunt. So we got to walk around and find things that she pointed out for us. I can't remember if it was it was a government building, and there were actually chips in the wall from battle in World War II.
Wow.
That we had to find for our little
so
scavenger hunt.
That's fun.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you feel I'm sure there are many, many takeaways from this experience, but what do you feel the biggest takeaway is that not only will help guide you through the rest of your last year, but beyond?
I think the biggest takeaway is that you really don't know how much is out there until you go out and see it. I mean, this was the first time that I had left the country. I had to get my passport for it. And you know objectively all these what's across the pond, but you don't know until you go out and see it, and you don't know how different it is. Everyone lives in such a content way that like they don't think anything of it, but for us it's completely different. It's like shocking for so many of us, just like little things that they did over there was like brand new. So it's just totally different everywhere in the world. It's a totally unique experience. And to be able to just like get a little window into that, it's definitely kind of opened my eyes to just how unique every individual experience across the world is.
Devon, it's such a pleasure to speak with you. And thank you for being here.
Of course.
And everyone at home, thank you so much for your generous donations. It's the donations that you provide for examples and experiences that Devon shared with us and other students and staff that have gone on professional development or on different types of experiences to either better yourself, better your craft, or better a skill. So it's just a wonderful opportunity, and we can't thank you enough for providing that to us. So wish you well, and I hope everything works out for you. And please stop by when you're done and let us know how you're doing past RB life.